Welcome back to another tutorial. This particular tutorial is a continuation of my previous video where I shared how I may cut my wedding dress. In this particular episode, I would be sharing how I stitched together the dress and also how I fixed appliques. I made it appliques myself from scratch. I cut out lace patch and I fixed them on the dress. So I took this dress from this plain gown into something like this. Right, so if you guys want to see how I did this, then this video is for you. My name is Ayomide, and on this channel you'd find sewing tutorials and pattern drafting tutorials. Now let us jump right into the tutorial. I have gone on to cut out the pattern as I illustrated. Like I said, I just wanted a bustier for this gown, no corsets. I'm not exactly a fan of corsets. So I have my front here and the back. I cut it out on the main fabric, which is the bridal duchess fabric, and I also cut out on the lining. I also ironed interfacing on it. To proceed, I will be stitching it down as always, joining the center front to the side front and also sewing in my darts at the back. I did this for the main fabric and also for the lining. As for the skirt pattern also, it's just very simple. All I did for the skirt was to sew in the dart allowance which I added. So this is for the front. I'll just go on and sew in the dart, and I'll repeat likewise for the back and also for the lining too. After sewing in the dart for the skirt, what I did was to turn the skirt with the lining to give it a proper finishing. Placing right sides against each other, I just took down some inches by the side. The half inch I added to the hem and some inches by the side. I did this for both the front and also for the back. Bear in mind that there are different finishing methods you can use to finish off your fabric, but this is one method I love to always use. As for the bustier, I've gone on to sew it down and also iron the seam open. I did this for the main fabric and also for the lining. So if you're a busty person, right, you can go on to do bust caging. But if you're not a busty person like me, I'm a UK size 6, you can just use bra cups to enhance the bust area, which is what I would be doing. So placing my main fabric on the mold, I have my bra cup here. I'm going to be folding the bra cup into half and stitch it down to make it a little bit enhanced. Then I would sew it down along the bust area. Once I'm done doing that, I will show you guys what it looks like. As for the back, I went on to cut out the yoke on the embroidery lace. I also cut out a plain mesh that I'll be using to turn the lace part to give it a smooth finish. So placing it together, I'll stitch it down along the neckline and also along the zipper area where I'll be having my buttonhole loops. Okay, so using that plain mesh gave it a really good finish. You wouldn't even know there's a mesh there. After fixing the bra cup, this is what I have. So remember I said I was going to take about half an inch there to sew in a dart. It helps to enhance that bust area, and this is what it looks like on the inside. So I did this on the lining actually, not on the main fabric. Take notes. Moving on, I would be joining them together, so placing right sides against each other, stitch it down along the neckline and also along the sides. I'll also do likewise for the back, but first of all I'll be joining the yoke to the back first of all. So as for the back, I need to join the yoke to the back. I finished off the neckline and the center back of the yoke like I explained. So I'll place it on the back and leave about 1 inch. Remember, the zipper will be stopping on the main fabric of the back. It will not extend to the yoke. I'll be having buttons at the yoke part. So I'll leave about 1 inch there, then join the yoke to the back. I'll place it in between my main fabric and the lining and sew it down. So this was how I stitched the back. This is what it looks like after sewing. Next, it is time to join both the front and the back together by the shoulder. Now what I did was to open up my front and then match up the shoulder seam of both the front and the back together. So what I'm trying to do here is I want to place the back in between the front lining and main fabric. So I placed it on one end and then used the main fabric to overlap my back. All right, and I did this because I'm working with net. I don't want the net to expand while I'm sewing, so I just sandwich the back in between the main fabric and the lining of the front. And I think I love this method of joining the shoulder seam better. It made it really nice. It made it lay very well. So because of the nature of the neckline, I went on to pin it first and then I'll sew it down. Let me illustrate this again. I open up my front neckline and then I use one part of the lining to overlap the back so that the back neckline would be in between the front, the main fabric of the front, and the lining of the front. After pinning, I went on to sew this down. And after sewing, this is what I have. So I did a little tiny notch along the curvy area to loosen it a bit. And after that, I pulled out the neckline. And this is what it looks like. I loved how neatly it came out, well laid. The neckline wasn't bulging. I didn't have to start ironing to make it lay flat. It just came out pretty good. And I think I'll be using this method going forward when I want to join the neckline or the shoulder slant rather of both my front fabric and my back. Okay guys, it is now time to move on. So at this point, the next thing I need to do is to join the skirt pattern. So I've gone on to prep my skirts. So I'll just join the skirt to the bodice. That's the front to the front bodice, the back to the back bodice. I'll also be fixing my zipper and fixing in a basic sleeve. It's a long sleeve, okay? So this is me here illustrating how I fixed it. It's pretty simple. Just join it together along the waist and repeat likewise for the back. And this is what I have. At this point, I'm loving the fit, even though I love the fit actually, even though there was no snatching going on, whatever. I just wanted a comfortable dress that I can breathe in, and I love the fit. So here I've gone on to fix my sleeve. It's a basic sleeve. And here I've gone on to cut out a patch of the lace. This was a try on to see how it was going to be like on the dress. So let me show you guys how I prepped this patch before fixing it on my dress. So here is the lace fabric that I used. This is the fabric itself, and it came with this beautiful pattern. So the good thing about this is you can always cut it out to make whatever design you have. And I've gone on to cut out some patches. I trimmed the lace off. Trust me, this was a lot of work. And all thanks to my cousin, my sister who was around, she helped with that. Now let's move on to fixing the pearl. I've got this pearl setting machine here. You can use it to fix pearls of different sizes. And it came with different, should I call it hooks now? Let's call it hooks that can work for different size of pearl. Okay, so I think I used the second smallest one, not the smallest one, the second smallest one So all you have to do is to screw it to this part of the pearl. Once you choose the one that works for the size of your pearl, just screw it to the top part. Okay, so you have it there. So for this, you need your beads. I think, well, it depends on what you want actually. Big size, small size, depends on the design you want. And also, you need your pin. So this is the bead I work with. I don't know what size this is, maybe a size 6, and this is the pin. Okay. So the good thing about this is that it gives a fine finishing, okay, because you're not using needle and thread. So the pin goes downward. There's like a pot below where the pin stays, while the bead will go upward where we fix that hook, that thing I call the hook. And once you fix the bead and the pin, locate where you want to put that on your lace and then press it down. So the thing about this is that it is a lot of manual work. So you're fixing the pin, you're also fixing the bead, and you're pressing it down. You fix the pin, fix the bead at the top, locate the parts on the lace, and then you press it down. So it's fun if you love creating and designing things, but trust me, it's a lot of manual work, but it is highly rewarding because you see your designs come alive. And I love the fact that it elevated the look of the lace patch. It wasn't just ordinary. The pearl gave it some really nice, exquisite look. So I did this on quite a number of patches. I had a lot. It's best to do a lot so that you don't have some shortfall when you are fixing this on the dress. So it took a while to get this done, but with time and strength, I was able to get it done. So this was how I worked on the patch lace. Enjoy. At this point in time, I have done quite a number of them. I'd fixed the pearls on quite a number of the patch lace. So I just proceeded to fixing on my dress. I have my dress right here on the mannequin, and the first thing to do when you want to fix an applique or whatever it is on your dress is to lay out your appliques or whatever it is you want to do on your dress. Have a view of it before you begin to tack it down, so that you don't do something that you're not comfortable with or that you don't like. So this is me here trying to pin down the lace patch. Now, because it's a patch, it doesn't mean that I cannot trim it out. So once I feel a part is not needed, I cut it off. It is not a waste. That part can also go to somewhere else on the dress. So this is also part of the designing process. So after cutting that part out, I proceeded to lay the remaining part of the patch on the dress. For this process, you'll be needing a lot of pins. So this is me here pinning everything down, cutting off some parts that are not needed for that particular area, while using the cut-off part for some other areas. I also think I love this part of the dressmaking. It took time, but I love it. I love the fact that the dress comes from something plain. It could go from something plain to something extraordinary. And I also love the fact that the patch also covered up the seam lines on the front, gave it some really nice look. So guys, enjoy this process. I'll be telling you guys how I fixed it together on the dress in some couple of seconds. After fixing down the appliques and being okay with the design that I have, it is now time to make this permanent because all I have here are just pins. And to do that, I have this curved needle here. Whoever invented this needle, God bless the person, because that is what you need for this kind of job. It makes going in and coming out very, very smooth, very smooth. If you can undo using a transparent, is it transparent now, or an invincible thread? Yes, that's what it's called, an invincible thread. You can go on and use an invincible thread, but if not, you can use a normal sewing thread, which is what I use. Invincible thread can be quite difficult to work with because it is very light in texture, it's very light in weight. So to stitch this down, I'm just going on to, pick the appliques and the main fabric. I try as much as possible to not let my thread show on the inside, that's on the lining, just to give it a good finishing too. Even though this is my dress, but I still wanted it to look good both on the outside and also on the inside. It took a while to get this done, but with good music playing in the background, the work went faster than I can even imagine. So if you're doing something like this, I would recommend having good music playing in the background, or if you have a podcast you listen to, you can also play it and the work will just go on smooth. After doing all of that, my wedding dress was ready. Let me also mention that I added pearls to the sleeve too, and I already fixed the button loops and the button at the back. I enjoyed working on my wedding dress. I'm so glad that I could do this for myself and make something that I know that I'll be comfortable in for myself. I really love the way the dress came out to be. If you learned one or two things from this video, make sure you give it a huge thumbs up. You can put in your comments in the comment section. Be kind to drop some comments, and I'll see you all in my next tutorial. Goodbye and stay blessed. Bye.